Hi Gemini, welcome to your weekly scopes. Please keep in mind this is only a general reading. Take what it feels right and what resonates with your own life experiences at the moment. So Gemini, an interesting week. It seems like you may be over defensive or suspicious or afraid of something that's much more in your mind than the actual truth. But either way, this could have a root in a situation in the past that had hurt you, that had caused you harm or some trouble, and now you created this defense, this suspicious attitude about the situation. And that situation may be a focus during this week. As a main opportunity, you have the Nine of Wands. So as a main opportunity, you have the opportunity to break through that over defensive wall you may have created in the past and finally realize if it's worth keeping it or not. If it's worth being so over defensive and keeping the bad but also the good from your life, or if it's time to enjoy the full ride and the full experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in a full circle of experiences and enjoyment of your life. There's nothing wrong with protecting ourselves and protecting our space, but there's a difference between protecting and avoiding and running away from and escaping and creating this wall as a barrier to live life and to experience its full spectrum of situations. But either way, the opportunity is you have come a long way. You have come from the war. So even if you let your walls down, nobody can take that experience, that maturity, that awareness, that clarity that from the war you have achieved. So you don't need to be over defensive because that structure has been built inside of you once you were in the war and you survived from it. So it's really just about acknowledging that you are strong enough inside. You know how to protect yourself because you are in contact with that ability to immediately discriminate and realize what it's worth uh, coming into your space and what it's not. And once you acknowledge that, you don't no longer need to build walls or have this over defensive, over suspicious, over anxious attitude about situations because you already have that knowledge inside of you and you don't need to keep the good things, the good experiences or people to be afraid to approach you or to be afraid to let them in because you've been hurt in the past. The challenge is the Ten of Swords. So I think you are overreacting or you're over suspicious, overseeing the situation in a very negative connotation that it's more in your mind that as an actual truth. Even though um, I do acknowledge and realize that many times this feeling of negativity overtakes our judgment and overtakes our clarity, and we are living it as if it was real. But if you start every single time you start being so afraid and picturing uh, the bad things happening before they really are, or before you have the facts, or before you even know if it's truth, just question. Don't take it as a fact. Don't take it as uh, the way you're perceiving it because you're perceiving it and you're seeing it and you're imagining it out of fear. And fear creates this constant feeling that things are scary, more scary than they truly are. And I think as a challenge, this really means that you are being challenged upon to take account of all these swords in your back, of all these thought processes that overtake your mind and overtake your ability to discern between uh, an over defensive attitude and a protective attitude of your heart, of your space, of your emotions. So I think it's a challenge. It could also be that you are really, really, really feeling um, depleted or tired or without any kind of strength to do um, to do what you wish and what you want to do right now. But if you are undergoing that road and undergoing that process, know that it's the end of the line. So it's total ending, and it's a turning point into a whole new chapter, a whole new way of perceiving, of thinking, of clearing out the clutter and bringing new clean space in your mind to work to the betterment and the positive attributes of yourself and not the negatives. So it can go either ways, but anyway, it's a turning point. It's something that it's in the verge of ending. You may have still to endure this week dealing with it, but know that you've come a long way. So if you have come a long way, you have grown inside of you, and if you're not aware, tap into that feeling. You've become much resistance and much knowledgeable about the art of war, about pain, about suffering, about things falling down, about things going in a total uh, destructive mode. You know that, and you may still carry a wound. And if you still carry that wound, you can heal it by acknowledging your strength, by acknowledging how you have, in spite of all that, you still manage to survive and you still manage to be present in here. And the challenge is to open up and to let experiences of life, not being afraid because of past situations, not being afraid of letting new things coming in. The advice is the Seven of Pentacles. So it's a week to be patient, to have endurance, to wait, to acknowledge that everything has its timing, has its cycles of um of growth, and it's coming. Don't be led by negative um thinking just because you are not seeing the results right now. Just wait. This is a week of waiting. It's a week of being having attention upon your surroundings and upon the feelings and the vibes you get from it, and what does that um, resonate? What does that feel for you, and where those feelings come from? Really start being your own therapist. Start acknowledging your strengths, your weaknesses, the things you know you still need to work on, and be patient, be kind, be perseverant about it, because this week is about that. This week is about being patient and acknowledging the power of patience, the power of letting this chapter end, and just enduring in the last paragraphs, enduring in the last scenes, but knowing that you are very, very, very close to a reborn, to a reborn state of being. So just keep the strength. Also, because the Zen advice is source. So know that in the background of all this waiting, of all this defensive and fearful attitude, you have the source. You have this promise of a new, passionate, creative force beginning. You have you have in the background the source of spirit, the source of fire, leading you to new directions, leading you new sense of faith in life, which I think you are needing it. You are needing a new sense of faith, definitely. You are needing um, you are needing the early summer to come into your life, and it's there. The hope is there, the faith is there, wanting to come into your life. So become aware of your own source inside of you, your own inner fire. Connect with the faith you have in yourself. Go back and realize that you've come so far until this moment. Why wouldn't you believe in your source of power? Why wouldn't you believe in the source and faith of life and universe supporting you? Why wouldn't you? So yeah, be patient about the process. It's about trusting the process. It's a cliche sentence quote, but it's true. Trust the process. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for listening, liking, subscribing. It really means a lot to me. And we'll see each other hopefully in the next week.